So, hi everyone, you can see we're back here today to make our green arrow jacket. First, what you'll need is a pair of sharp scissors. Secondly is some green fabric. Now I'm using some green polyester. You can use whatever you want, or an old green hoodie. Completely up to you, and I bought mine in store at the Paragon Fabrics. Link is in the description below, and this is folded over on two sides so that I get my front and back. Secondly, what I'm going to do is actually lay down a t-shirt. So I'm going to be actually laying down my t-shirt and copying the same shapes as this. So a baggy shirt, not a tight fit one. And then I'm just actually going to be cutting the shapes slightly bigger so that I have my nice sewing lanes. But right here I curve in the arms firstly. Make sure you get those nice arm curves in, and then flatten out your shoulders also. So you'll want to get that nice neckline flattened out. I just fold it over on each side to make sure I have the arm curves nice and shaped up nice. So right here I just flatten everything, make sure it's laid down. And again, I can just emphasize, get those nice arm curves in and lay down your shoulders flat, guys. Always, that is what kind of gets me in the first time I was building my jackets. Also, I just thin in the sides here, and you can see I cut bigger than the actual shirt itself. Okay, so I actually cut bigger because I'm going to be sewing up those lanes. Right here what I do is mark out halfway, make a slight cut, and then I'll just take off the shirt that's not needed anymore. And you can see I have one half already cut. I'll fold that over to where I slightly made the halfway point, and then there you go, I have my even symmetrical jacket shape. Now this is also my front and back, so I will emphasize this is 4 layers of fabric that you're cutting through. Sharp scissors are perfect. That's always what also got me in the first time I was building these costumes, not using sharp scissors. You get some really nice clean lines, guys. So yeah, there you go, I have my first jacket base. This is the front and back, and then I'm actually going to be thinning this in because it does look quite wide. But you'll always want to go bigger, guys, than go smaller, because it's easier to add to something, to take away from something than to add to something. Right now you can see we have some black lycra fabric. Now you don't have to do this, you can stick initially with your shape here. It'll maybe fit you better, but I want a more personalized slim look, so I'm just going to be using some black 4-way stretch lycra fabric. Okay, so I'm marking here from the bottom up to my armpit, and that's actually at the bottom of the arm curve, and then just laying that down at the side. So simply like the Spider-Man suit, if you've watched my Spider-Man process video, I cut out the red part and I add in the blue. This is what I'm going to be doing for this jacket. I'm actually going to be cutting out the green and adding in the black. So yeah, this is going to give me a more slimline personalized fit. Again, guys, you don't have to do this. It's completely up to you. I just want to do it because I've made a few green arrow jackets. They haven't fit me as well as I've wanted, and this I know will actually give me a more personalized fit. So you can see it goes from the bottom all the way up to the bottom of the arm curve or the armpit. So yeah, that's all I'm going to be doing. You can see I'm just going to be cutting out where I actually need it to go, and that's all there is to it, guys. Make sure you maybe mark out where you want to cut out from pieces. You don't want to just go all gung-ho and start to cut into it. I would mark out first where you want to go, and then start and create. So yeah, thank you so much for watching so far. This is going to be me making the green arrow jacket. Again, I can emphasize, you don't have to do it this way. It's completely up to you in what way you want to make it. The CW has really emphasized, how they look. But theirs actually has some netting, some netting and breathable fabric around the side where his goes. And that's kind of maybe where I took some emphasis from it. Also from the new 52. The new 52 designs are awesome. But you can see I have a separate green, a really bright green zipper that I've had for a couple of years, and I just needed to use it. Okay, so this is the base of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be sewing all these pieces together, and you can see right now I have all the front and back sewed together with also the black lycra at the sides. Gives it a nice touch. It's not all green. I don't have to add maybe some armor pieces at the sides. Makes it breathable and also slimline, so it fits me a bit better when putting it on. Okay, because these polyester fabrics, they're a bit stiff. Right now what you'll do is find your halfway mark again at the bottom and cut from the top to the bottom, and that's going to give us our zipper line. So that's going to just cut a line straight away from the top to bottom, marking out your middle point, and that's where we're going to be sewing, or whatever your method is to put on your zipper if you want to do that. I've seen people use buttons or Velcro, instead of a zipper. Right here you can see my face. This didn't fit me. So it didn't fit me initially, and that's because I didn't use the full width of the lycra. You've seen I cut the lycra quite wide, the black pieces at the side, but then you can see now they're actually quite thin. I didn't use the full width of the actual pieces, so what I do is go back and then I widen those up slightly, and that'll fit much better. And I'm getting a phone call right now. I'll be back slightly, guys. So here you can see the jacket fits me a lot better. That's because it actually has a rectangular shape you've seen previously. The lycra at the sides seemed a bit thin. And I've also added on the zipper. Now again, this is a bright green zipper that I had. You can go for the armless, sleeveless look that he has from season 3, or I think no, it's season 4. From season 4, you can have his sleeveless look, or you can go season 5, season 1, 2 to 3, where he has his actual sleeves. That's what I like, and I'm about to show you how to make those next. But again, you can use a black zipper. You can use any kind of colored zipper that you want. I have the nice collar coming around the neck piece, and yeah. Go for anything. The lycra fabric at the side, you can add in this for a red arrow, you know, mix up the colors. This helps it for a slimline and a better fit all around. So right now, I just show you the zipper up close. I have sewn this on. So I've just sewn on the zipper to the middle zipper, or the middle split, sorry. I got the zipper in an art shop, or you can purchase these online very cheaply. Make sure you get good ones and not cheap ones. I would pay a bit of extra for a good zipper. Right now what we're going to be doing is using the green fabric again, 2 layers folded on top of one another so that I get 2 even sides. Then I lay down just a nice arm piece. So make sure your fabric is also flat, but I lay down an arm piece from one of the jackets that I like the fit of. Again, you can use an old jumper, a jacket. Use your clothing, guys. Honestly, the lining and the seam lines will show you how this is made, but you can also replicate and copy the shapes to fit you. I would always say cut bigger than smaller. You know, you'll want to, it's always easier to add to something or than take away. So here we are. Or no, it's better to take away than add. Why is that saying not getting in? So you can just see I cut around the shape right now, and that's all there is to it. Again, use an old jumper, use a jacket. Make sure you get that nice arm curve in. You'll not want to make the lines match up. Just make sure that armpit to shoulder line is on a curved line and it matches into the jacket line. Okay, so here we are. You'll see me next. I sew both of these sides together and actually sew them to the jacket itself. You can go and watch many of my other process videos on how I make those, but here I am trying it on. You can see, and it's a really nice tight fit. It's a really nice tight fit. The arms are very slimline. I tuck in the bottom of the jacket, but yeah, I went bigger for the arms, and then I actually, as the process went along, I slimmed them in and thinned them into my perfect arm shape. Not too tight where it cuts off circulation, but is this polyester, when you bend it, it can cut off circulation and leave some straps or some lines in your arms. But right now what we're going to be doing here is the hood. So the hood is, again, taking an old jacket, taking your actual clothing that you own, just copying it, replicating it. That's all I've done, what I've learned to do throughout the years. Any item of clothing that I like the shape of or the look of, I'll say, well, I'll just do that, the exact same thing. So just lay it down on the green fabric. Again, you can go for a darker green or a leather if you want to make, you know, Green Arrow's hood is really, it's really special to him. It's really customized to the character. So if you want to go for a more personalized one, if you want to go for a whole better shape, you know, Injustice, the CW, the comics, they all have their different kind of niche that they go for. You can see now I just cut a slightly bigger shape than my actual hood. Then I add a curve from the bottom. So you want to get that nice shoulder curve at the bottom of the hood. And again, this is 2 sides. They're going to be sewn on top or sewn together, and that gives you your nice weight. You can make it smaller, bigger. If you want to use this for an Assassin's Creed design, go for it. Right now what we're going to be doing, I've sewn both the sides together. You can see the back curve, that's all sewn together, and I've left the opening at the bottom on the side. Right here what I'm doing is just folding in the edges. So the actual hood opening where your head is, I'm actually closing in the sides. That's hemming. So I'm just making these really nice and neat so the fabric isn't frayed, it doesn't look, you know, dirty basically. That's all it did, is just folding it and making it nice and neat, and you can see it looks much cleaner. Probably not, because this camera quality is crap, but I am going to be releasing a video where you'll see it much better quality. So this actual part I did F up, okay? I basically just went on and I didn't show you guys me adding on all the armor pieces. You can see I have a shoulder piece right here coming along each shoulder. Again, you can use cardboard or EVA foam, as I always say. You can texture them or tone them whatever you want. I've used a piece of Peltex. That just comes around the both shoulders to emphasize, you know, a more bulkier look. Then right here you can see the green zipper, and the hood is actually attached also just simply where the zipper ends. That's all it is. It's just where the zipper is at the top of the jacket. I just glued that on, and I glued it on initially wrong. So I did the wrong thing at the start. Right now what we're going to be doing, the sound is going to be cutting in. I've added on some armor pieces also, but I'll be showing you that later on the video. Thank you guys for watching so far. Right here where the neck sits, in and around the neck, so you can see it's just glued right there. Initially I did have it glued down here where it didn't sit right, it was pulling too much, so I moved it up a lot more. It gives it a better, you know, lift out around here. But so again, I apologize for the low volume, but yeah, this is me explaining how I actually built up the armor pieces. I have the quiver portion. I use some black elasticated straps, okay, and some buckles. If you want to go for the backpack look that the CW has, I went for this because I actually like the bulkiness that it gives, the more build that he would have an actual strengthened quiver strap, because all the time we're seeing him lose his quiver. People are too easy being able to take Green Arrow's quiver from him, and that is his strong point. It's like Batman's utility belt. So I want to have that no emphasis. Well, the quiver can't be taken from me. It's buckled to my suit. Do not try and take it from me. But yeah, I have the 6-pack portion going down here. They're actually black pieces. You can use cardboard or EVA foam. That's completely up to you guys. Go with whatever design you want. I went for a more new 52 style. This is if you want to go for the the season 5 CW armor. The bright zipper I am going to be changing out, so I want to be changing that bright zipper to a black zipper. But yeah, again, I'm building in the sides of the armor. I have some arrowheads here at the bottom of the quiver straps, just so it gives more emphasis to the actual suit, and it actually builds into the 6-pack portion. The next step in the video and the next stage, what we're going to be doing is the shoulder pads. So these shoulder pads, guys, are some kids skating and rollerblading pads, safety things that you get online or in charity shops. You can get them in a nice discount store if you want, but they're simply for safety and they're used for children, you know, for rollerblading and skating. That's the basic emphasis that I can give. I've actually wrapped them in some black straps, but this gives a more armor build to your suit. If you want to pick these up, they come online very cheaply for around $5 and much better designs. They're much better. Guys, honestly, type in on eBay or Amazon rollerblading and skating pads, you will get some really cool designs. But all in all, I do apologize for skipping ahead and rushing this whole build. I didn't record the whole process of me making the armor pieces, but you can go with cardboard or EVA. We'll be building gauntlets later on in the next stages of the video, but this next step is going to be actually building your shoulder pads. And yeah, your quiver design can be from the CW or the comics. I would suggest I'm going to be building still on top of the quiver, because I want to again emphasize that and make sure that it's a real good strong part of the suit. So thank you for watching, and here we are with the shoulder pads. So the shoulder pads, I've just covered that red piece that you've seen before. You can use cardboard or EVA foam for this piece. Right now I drew a piece that was a bit too small, so then I just reshaped it and made it slightly bigger. So we're not going to use that, we're going to use this piece. It's just a bigger piece in the exact same shape, just definitely slightly bigger, and this fits much better around your shoulder pad. Okay, so don't be scared to maybe resize or reshape your pieces. I know I've done it before where I think, oh well, I'll just use this anyway. I would always say resize and reshape your pieces. What I'm using is Peltex. It's used in Irish dancing dresses, mostly commonly found in England, so it's pretty expensive as well. I haven't really got my hands on it recently. You can use cardboard, EVA foam. They are brilliant for these kind of builds. Just piece by piece, listen to music, watch a movie, guys, and then you can see a top and bottom piece that are going to be wrapped in the green fabric. So the same fabric that I use for the jacket, they just cover up, you know, that black. They're going to give it a better shape all in all, make it a bit more bigger and a bit bulkier. And that's all it is. I'm keeping that nice circle piece because it is a bit more emphasized. It pushes out that bit more. It's elevated out, and it actually adds to the shoulder pad all in all. Okay, the next step is what we're going to be doing is wrapping these in the green fabric. But here you can see I have both pieces for each side, and you'll want to label them. So L2 and then L1, you know, for left and right. Then right is R1 and R2. And just because I'm a big child, I will add a D2. Always try and have fun with these builds, guys. Honestly, listen to music, watch a movie, and what's the point in building this stuff if we're not going to have fun? So thank you so much for watching so far. You can see we've actually wrapped them in the green fabric. Like I do with all the other armor pieces, I use a hot glue gun and wrap the actual Peltex in some fabric to give it a texture and tone. You can see at the back here it's just flipped around, cut in many different sections. What we're going to be doing is just gluing this to the shoulder pad. Here we are with the rest of the video, everyone. So these are just for some additional pieces, guys, on your actual shoulder pad. If you want to go for a better design, if you want to make these a bit thicker, you know, you want to go into a bit more detailed on the actual costume. Okay, so I'm just adding these pieces of Peltex going down in an arrowhead formation, 3 of them. Going down the shoulder pad itself, you can go for the CW or a more comic book accurate design. Since it is arrow, I thought the arrowhead and these points would suit the costume best. These are 2 pieces of Peltex glued together just to make them that bit thicker. If you want to use 2 pieces of cardboard, or if you already have some thick cardboard at hand, that'll be best. You know, it'll give that better emphasis when you do glue them onto the shoulder pad. They won't just look like a design portion, they'll actually look like proper armor pieces. So yeah, the thicker maybe the better. That's always something to think about when you're designing these. What are they going to look like afterwards? Are they going to actually stand out? That's always what I'm thinking in the background. So you can see I just glued 2 pieces of Peltex together, makes it that bit thicker and also strengthens it up, and you'll see it better on the suit. So guys, these are the shoulder pads. You can design yours whatever way you want, and thank you for watching so far. So you can see the finished pieces, guys, with the 2 actual arrowheads wrapped with the green fabric and glued on. They're a bit thicker, you can actually see the detailing in them. Right here at the top I've added another piece just to cover up the inside of the shoulder piece itself, you know, that rollerblading pad. Just so that everything's clean when it goes on the shoulder. But those pieces actually sit out a bit thicker and they actually do emphasize a lot more, which I love. Honestly, I'm going to be adding on this 3rd piece here in the middle just to bring it all together, and here we are actually gluing on the shoulder pads. So for this part, I actually had a partner right now, you can see, and he helped me glue on and place the shoulder pad right. So I just placed on the glue using a hot glue gun. You can use Gorilla Glue, any good adhesive, anything that good sticks. He marked it out with an actual marker where the top and bottom would go. Many a time I've glued on a shoulder pad and I've glued it on a bit too diagonal. This is to make sure that it goes on straight, it sits well, and both are actually even. Okay, so you're going to see my face here. I should have wore a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt, maybe 2 underneath this. Yeah, it burns the hell. Hot glue again, pro tip, hot glue is hot. So it burnt through the shirt, really hurt me, and that's the things you do for cosplay. But this just went on. Maybe make sure you have someone there to help you, and also 2 layers of sleeves on. Yeah, basically that's it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm about to show you here me at the end while I'm wearing the jacket, and you have been awesome. Please let me know down below if you're going to try this, and yeah, here we are. So, hi everyone, this is at the end of the video. Yeah, thank you for watching so far, and here is the jacket. So I'm not finished with this. I'd say it's around 70% done. The jacket alone, you see I have the shoulder pads on here, and yeah, we'll try it on, see how it fits. And if I just get the zip down, that's not what you want in a jacket. So you can just see right here that the mannequin just fell. I loved how this turned out. Honestly, the jacket really surprised me. I wasn't going to follow through with it. You can use this for a red arrow if you want to go alternative with your designs. You know, you can actually make this into a different altogether. But that's completely up to you and what you want to do. So, it just looks so much better with those shoulder pads on. So yeah, this is the jacket so far. I'll probably build a bit down here with the gauntlets. So we're going to make a separate video on how to make Green Arrow gauntlets. They're going to look really good. But I might thin it in here at the back so it has just a bit slimmer fit. And yeah, everyone in my family is shouting right now. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If this has helped you in any sort of way to make your jacket base or some shoulder pads, maybe design ways on how to help you make a sort of jacket, please let me know down below. If you're going to actually make your own green or red arrow, that would also be brilliant. I have an abscess back again, so please, hopefully some videos soon before this goes away. And yeah, the hood is going to be getting redesigned, so I'll be making this so it gets a bit wider and sits out here a bit more. You know, so it has that green arrow feel. Guys, thank you so much for watching. From me, everyone here at Ireland, you're amazing. Maybe through the week the gauntlet video will be out, and I'll probably be making the quiver and the bow video. So good night from me, everyone here at Ireland. Always at your geek speak. Please subscribe and comment, and I've been John Hay, making my green arrow jacket. Now God bless, guys.